everybody, Jill here. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for clicking on that thumbnail. I hope you stick around. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun today. I know I am. I'm gonna be playing with some new makeup and a palette that's actually brand spanking new to the market, so I'm excited about that. I'm gonna be using just my tried and trues, not so new, but stuff that I absolutely love and I finally replaced because I had run out, so I'm dying to get to using that again. So we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna show you the 3 brand new things that we're gonna try out and the stuff that I already use and know I love. All right, so I already have on the foundation and I already have primer. I'm gonna show you what I used. So to keep up with the theme, I went ahead and applied my Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. Yes, so this is the HD Skin Concealer. I'm real excited to try that. So we're gonna do that. Then I have and am always looking for a really nice matte contour that's a little more on the cool side. I'm quite fair, so coolish tones tend to work best for me when I contour, but there's also this area where if it turns a little too gray, it just looks dirty. And if I go a little too warm, it can just look quite orange on my skin. I was really excited when I saw this online, and then when I looked at it in person, I'm even more excited because it is so hard to find kind of this right balance here. So if you're fair and you struggle with that too, I think you could feel my excitement and understand where that's coming from, because look at this color. So I hope this works out. I'm really excited. Contouring, you know, is a really big part, if not the main part of my full face makeup. So if I'm in the mood for a full face, contour is really super important to my routine. If I do a really good job contouring, then everything else is a piece of cake and I come out with a really natural, soft look. I would say that would be one of the biggest tips that I could give my mature aged friends out there, is to really hone in on your contour game, because once you do that, you really will be surprised at how little you need when it comes to like blush and cheeks, and it's just more of just a flush of color at that point that you need. And that's only if you're really into more of a natural look. But regardless, good contouring goes a long way. I saw this was an impulse buy for sure, but I do like Tarte palettes. I love, it's kind of like one of my all-time favorites is the Tarte in Bloom, and I even got excited when they came out with that really sort of big oversized one. I had to get that. So this one is called Big Ego. It's beautiful, first of all. The palette itself is quite lovely. And I have to say, I'm a little bit of a sucker for that. But I thought these were really pretty. I mean, this palette is speaking to me, and I can't wait to try the first look out of it with you guys today. So those are the new stuff that I'm gonna be trying. Again, I already have foundation on. I used the Rare Beauty primer for my eyelids. This is a lovely primer for just aging, crepey, delicate eye tissue. Okay, I'm just always hoping that I chose a decent shade. And it looks good. Less is best with concealer when you're north of 50. I'm gonna go in with my favorite brush here for anything that I need applied around the eye. Oh, wow. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell you, the coverage is fantastic. Wow, that is a beautiful finish. Beautiful. The trick is, really, how is this gonna wear through the day? And that I won't be able to tell you until I use it for a while. I think first impressions with makeup and or skincare it's almost useless. You know, you gotta live with it for a while. You gotta see what it's gonna do, at least through a week, you know. So just this initial first impression, which involves kind of how it applies, what that finish looks like, the coverage, right at this very moment, this is beautiful. So I'm going to actually try the contouring. I'm going to do my contour, I think, before I even start playing with this, because you know how much I do enjoy hanging out there in the eyes because I love putting on eye makeup. So let's go ahead. Oh gosh, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, this color is really good. That is just the sweet spot. That's exciting. It's very much hit and miss for me when it comes to, I very seldom actually will buy contour because it's usually a miss and it's usually always a return. So then I look for contour in my actual palette, my eyeshadow palette, and most of the time I can find one that works pretty well. But it's going to be nice to just whip this out. You know, I struggle sometimes getting the little brush in whatever the palette, the eyeshadow palette that I'm using. So this is going to be nice. This is very, very exciting. Okay, I am going to go ahead and switch over to the little pointy one. I'm going to touch on my towel down here. You might hear my little Loki in the background. He wanted to be in here. Okay, now I'm gonna do some contouring kind of in here. I'm just excited to experiment with this contour. So this may not be something that I will do all the time, but today I am, because I want to check this out. Let me see. I think I'm going to go in. This is like a body contouring brush, and I want to say this is an IT Cosmetics. Yeah, it is, and it is lovely, and I hope they still make this. But I'm going to just dip right into this. Look at how nice this is going to work out. It's so nice having a nice big pan. And I am going to kind of very lightly tap this on my towel because I don't want to completely go crazy. So when you're contouring, kind of trying to snatch in a little bit better jawline, you don't want to go underneath, because the object is to kind of not bring any more attention to the jowls right here. So we're going to just pretend they're not there. We're going to go right over the top of it. And then I'm going to just bring this right on down. And I'm going to load this up again. And I'm going to tap it off a little bit here. And right over the top of that. And I'm going to bring it down. Okay, now I'm going to use my favorite sort of buffer to smooth out, soften this kind of stuff that I put all over the face. And that is a BK Beauty, and this is 105, and it's like a big kabuki brush, and I love it. It's like, has this handle. I can soften all the edges and just really soften out that contour. Wipe that off. Are you ready? We're going to jump right into the eyes now. We're going to work out of a brand new palette to Tarte. This is called Big Ego. And let's begin. I am so excited. All right, I can tell already. I think I'm going to start by brightening up right in here like I like with this here color. Right here. The one in the very top left corner. All right, I'm going to load that up right on my ring finger, actually. We'll see if we got payoff with this, because I do like good payoff even with the light colors. But we also have, ooh, that's pretty. We also have that beautiful eyelid primer. What does that do? Yes, it definitely helps with payoff of any eyeshadow that you're using. So not only will it really pretty much eliminate any creasing through the day, it will help with payoff. And so that's why I'm pretty confident usually that I'm going to get a good payoff with almost any, eyeshadow that I use. That's pretty. Still the same color. I'm just kind of putting another thing. I think I'm going to use my pinky, and I'm going to go ahead and just sort of run this underneath the brow there in the front and right up here where the arch is. It'll give us a nice clean look when we do our brows, when I do my brows. And it will lift the whole look, which is always nice. Oh, that's pretty. Now I'm going to look for a really nice sort of transition color, which is really a way of thinking contouring the eyes. And that's how I look at the transition color. It also is related to the theme, that color palette that you plan on using in your eyes. So, it's not necessarily always about the contour, but for me, that's how I look at it. Now we've contoured the cheeks, the chin, everything. I am now going to contour out my eyes. And so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a good color that is matte and will help to set that sort of shape that I'm looking for. I think I'm going to use this one right here. I like a nice poofy dome brush for this. So I'm not even going to tell you the actual number because I can't read it, but I'll put it up here. You'll see it. I'm going to go ahead and load that up with this color. My gosh, I'm so excited. There, I see a color right now because of the color of my dress, which I don't think you can see all that well, but I will back up when I'm done. And there's a color that I'm dyeing that's in here that I'm going to really be excited to use. I am going to use this. I'm going to start right here in the center. That's where I'm going to initially sort of push the pigment, is right in here. And even doing that, look what that does. It really lifts the eye. And by the time I put something a little glossy or sparkly or even wet looking right through here, my eye is it's gonna create a look that I personally like, and it gives me, at least I feel like it gives me a bit of a youthful look rather than an opened eye as well. So I used to start more to the side. These days I start right here in the middle. That is a gorgeous color. And I do like to brush it up here into my brow. That's why I don't do my brows until I'm completely done with my eyes. And that's basically where I'm going to concentrate on putting this. Once that pigment is off my brush and I have placed it exactly where I want it, then I can really lightly just sort of move it around, blend it, make it look soft. I'm not going to put any of it over here at all. When I blend, it might kind of go there, but I want to be really careful. I don't want to take this color down any further than it already is. So concentrating right through here. Now I really don't have much pigment left on here at all, but if I did, I would wipe it down here on my towel because I'm going to do a little extra contouring for me right through here. And that's because I'm a little broad right through here, at least for the look that I like. So I'm going to just bring this in a little bit. And this is a really pretty color to do that with because it is matte and it's not too dark, and it will work really well for that. Okay, let's get the other eye caught up. With this dress, there's truly, it's almost ideal for this. Let me back up. See what I'm talking about here? All right, before we do anything else, I'm going to take that same color and I'm going to contour under the eyes. And yes, I said contour because we are not going to look at this as, we're not going to look at this as putting a skinny line underneath the lower lash line. We're looking at this as truly a blended kind of contour that's really going to open the eyes, make them look a little bigger. So let's go into that very same color. I am going to take this. You can pat it on because I know it's difficult with crepiness. Tap, tap, tap. I do kind of have to do this just to kind of flatten everything out, really. And then, you know, all of the facial expressions have to happen these days. I try not to look too ugly when I do this for you guys, but ooh, when that camera goes off, don't think I don't do this stuff, because I do. I just try to be nice. So I also want to be careful that I don't kick this out this way. I really just ride it right on up, horizontal. I don't want to bring anything out here to really, well, that would kind of bring down the look, you know, bring down the face really. Plus, I don't want to accentuate lines and all of that. So but the real thing that we're shooting for here is a soft bottom line. So yes, we want the color up here, but we want to bring it down nice and soft, probably lower than you think it should be. I talk about that a lot too. It makes you feel a little uncomfortable. You're probably doing it right. And because again, we're contouring the eye and it does come together at the end. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to swatch this color. This is a beautiful gray blue, but I want to swatch it. Holy Toledo, is that ever gorgeous. This looks exactly like it does in the pan, which is really nice. Wow, that is pretty. It has some iridescence to it. It's gorgeous. And you can see my dress. It has to happen. So I'm going to start not at the very edge, but right about here. And I'm going to push it right next to my lash line. Our tissue falls off and lightly just kind of goes over the lashes these days, which in turn points the lashes down. So if you notice that your lashes are not as up as they used to be, that's probably what's happening. The other thing you're probably going to find is that when you're lining the eyes, and I have to use eyeshadow these days. I can't use creamy pencils anymore. I just can't. But you're going to find that you have to make a much thicker line than you used to. Otherwise, when you open up your eyes, you're really not going to see it much. You'd be surprised at how thick you got to go, and that just depends on how much your eyes have aged. But if you're frustrated by that, don't be afraid to, really bring that line up. You might even have to go halfway up your eyelid, before it's seen. This is beautiful. Yeah, that's pretty. I really want it to soften as I get here to the corner, so I'm going to really blend that out right through here. But I definitely want it to be nice and bold. That's pretty. I'm going to just take this up just the littlest bit here on the edge. I don't know why I'm whispering. I think because I'm really excited. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Okay, we're not done yet though. We're not done. Wow, okay, serious fallout happening. Serious fallout. So, the next time I use that color, I will put a little piece of toilet paper right under it and just let it catch there, because I got too excited and I did not do that. That's okay though. We can fix. Oh, sweet Lord in heaven. Okay. All right, well, let's not panic quite yet. I'm just gonna have to do that. We're just gonna get rid of that fallout. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, I really got crazy with it. Okay, I'm gonna go in now with some more of the pretty concealer. I'm going to bring it down here just because I wiped off so much. This might be a pretty concealer to do that with anyway. It's very brightening. I still went pretty light with it though. I don't know if that came through, but it's pretty light. And I'm just gonna press it in. And we're going to pretend That fallout never happened. I'm going to have to go back with a little bit of that brown, especially on this side, because that is pretty and I want it to be that color more than the blue. This side has quite a bit of that blue. I'm going to get rid of that blue. Guys, that concealer, if this wears as nicely as my Lancome concealer that I have used and haven't even been interested up until today to try any other concealers because I love it so much. If this one stays put like that one does and has good wear time, it may be my new favorite, but I'm speaking a little too soon, I'm gonna go back to that same brush that we used when we used the brown underneath the lower lashes. It's really a taupey, dark taupe-like color, but this one needs to be refreshed. It definitely does. Had a lot of the blue fall down here, so I want it to look brown, not blue. I'm gonna do this side as well. These videos are always, they end up being the longest. And I really feel like I do need to apologize for that, but it's just because I do enjoy playing with this stuff. And so I have a hard time editing because they just end up being long. Oh well. You can always forward along when you don't want to hang out at a certain place and, just don't want to lose you all together. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be really careful with this next color because I'm going to go in. What am I going to go in with? I'm going to go in with this color here. And that's what I'm going to put kind of right here at the end. But you know what? I don't want to go through all of that again. So I don't have toilet paper because honestly, toilet paper works the best because it's so thin. But I am going to go and I'm just going to protect under here when I put this on, just in case it gives me a lot of fallout as well. All right, so this is my favorite brush for use when I do this step in my eye looks. And this is BK Beauty, and you'll see the number up here. So I'm going to load it with that really pretty color. It's like a mahogany, deep mahogany. And I'm going to load that mostly here. This is what I'm doing. I am just pressing it like this. I'm not doing that with this particular brush. I'm really loading it on the downside of that. And then we are going to we're going to really knock that off. And to be extra careful, I'm going to do this. And then I am come on, I want a little more payoff than that. There it is. Okay. So I am kind of putting it over that blue right there, but that's okay. And I'm going to bring it up kind of, now I'm holding this pretty much straight up and I'm going to kick it over a little, but I'm not going to bring it anywhere in here. But I am just going to kind of lightly kick it over to probably right around my arch, but we're going to shoot for a nice soft blend right through there. Going to do the same to the other side. So I'm going to push it in, load, push it in, knock it off. Again, I'm going to protect this. Don't want to go through all that again. I want the downside to be toward me. And again, I don't want to bring it over too far this way. So we're going to do this, bringing it straight up now, kicking it over, pressing right into that primer and tissue. There we go. Softening it right in here. That's pretty. Isn't that pretty? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blender that I like and I'm going to soften that. Really just kind of softening those edges. All right. Okay. Okay, so I'm dying to use this color. This is a real pretty, and we'll see how this, what the payoff is of this. It's very sparkly. It's like this beautiful vanilla, pretty sparkly color. And I'm gonna load up my pinky. First, I gotta make sure my pinky is clean. I'm gonna load my pinky up with this. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's much more champagne than it looks. It is a champagne. It's beautiful. Little peach to it, little gold maybe even. Let's see what it looks like on the skin. So I'm going to put that right above the blue. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is pretty. Putting that right in the middle, right there. Holy Toledo. Yes, there is some fallout. I think that's the main thing with this palette, is just be careful of that. But I am not disappointed in this palette one iota. It's like I can deal with the fallout. I just gotta be smarter than it is. Wowee, wowee, wowee. That's gorgeous. It is this sort of this really pretty, understated, almost diamond sparkle. It's really unusual. Honestly, it's like, it almost gives almost this chunkier, but in a good way, diamond look. It is gorgeous, and I hope you guys can see how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's gorgeous. So we are going to now I think we're going to put a little tiny bit of that sparkle right up in here. Probably wouldn't do that if this is a daytime look, but for nighttime, I definitely am going to do it. Sparkle, and I'm going to hit it right here. Just enough, just the littlest bit, right where that arch is going to be eventually when I put it there. Don't bring it too low. If anything, walk it up into the brow itself, because again, we don't want to make it puffy. We bring it down to here, it's going to look real puffy. We're done. We are done with this gorgeous palette. I feel like I've hung out so long here with our eye look that I'm going to go off camera, put on my mascara, and I'm going to put my brows on as well. But I'm going to stop when I get to the point where I use this, which is the Tinted Brow Gel, and when I finalize the whole look and lock it into place with my favorite Patrick Ta Brow Lamination Gel. So I will see you guys here in a little bit. Okay, we got the hair on. We are at the part. I think I still probably should wear this, just to kind of keep things back. Okay, I think I should still, let me start over here. Okay, got the hair on, not quite done. We still got the cheeks to go with some color, the lips, and we're gonna finish off the eyebrows. So I used my Taupe. This is the $1 Billion Brow in Taupe. This is a powder. And look at my favorite little angle brush broke. This was something really cheap, and I don't even remember exactly what it came from, but I used the angle side on it. You know how it is when you're used to using the same thing for years. So I'm still using it. I'm just doing this. So we got that on. And then, of course, I really soften it up with the spoolie. My brows are getting harder and harder to do these days, especially this one. But now we're ready to go in with the Gimme Brow Tinted Brow Gel. I use 4.5. In the look that I like to do, I tend to go a little bit darker than the powder that I'm using when I'm picking out a color for my tinted brow gel. And I just think for me, it helps to cover the white ones, but it gives a little bit of dimension that hopefully looks a little bit more natural. But let's face it, you know, my brows need so much help these days that they're still going to look made up, but I try to get them to look as natural as possible. So I got 4.5 again because, you know, it seemed to work. I think I started at 4 and I'm like, yeah, next time I'm going to get 4.5. I love the Gimme Brow. believe it or not, this lasts a while, but I think you can even get a bigger one. I thought I ordered that, but look how tiny the little spoolie is. I mean, that gives you such precision, and I love that about this particular tinted brow gel. I have never used any other brand. Benefit's been the only brand I've used in the tinted brow gel. I've just been super happy with it. Okay, so I'm first gonna kind of use it and kick out the front this way because I just, again, think that looks natural. And this is where most of this brow, this is my trouble brow. Most of this brow is powder at this point. But what I do have, I can tell this is brand new because it's coming out a little chunky, but that's okay. What I do have is some white ones and occasional brow hairs. So I'm going to use those to my advantage. Now, okay, now after, you can soften some more if you want. And then after you're done doing that, then I lock everything in. Now, yes, that is a gel. It just has tint to it, but I still like to finish it off with this. And I absolutely love the applicator on this. You can put each and every single brow hair exactly where you want it. Look at that. So this also, again, cleans up that tint even a little more, but I like to kick these out. And then I kind of go a little slow with this, and I just put it literally where I want them. I'm going to go back in. Man, I've missed this. I have really missed this. Because it is going to lock in, and you're literally not going to be able to do anything with it. But I love that, because it's going to stay all day long. So you've got to like the finish. You just have to like this. I mean, I feel like it is one of those products, either you're going to love it or hate it. You're just going to have to try it out. I love it. So this is my second one, and it lasts a long time. So we are done with the brows now. Woohoo! Now we're going to add some color to the rest of our face, and we're going to contour the lips because I'm dying to use this around my lips. Really, that's my favorite thing to do over just lining with a regular lip pencil, because I like that softer look of contouring my lips. Because I'm going to use that same brush. I find that this works really well. I really like using this brush, and it's that same one that we used when we were working under the eyes there. And I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever contour, and I'm going to really tap it off 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 down there. You don't have to do it exactly 4. That's just how many I did. So I am going to do my lips now. I want to create kind of a fuller bottom lip. This way, this is flat, there's no satin, there's nothing shiny about this. This is very matte, and so the light is just going to fall under there. And if we put something, if what we have on our lips has some sheen to it, it's going to pop that up, and the light is going to bounce off that and be hidden and kind of disappear underneath. It's going to give us the slightest illusion that we have a bigger bottom lip than we do. And then I like to go right on top of my natural lip line right through here. And I get about right here, because I don't like the look of it kind of going like this. I feel like that accentuates the marionette lines. So I want it to be kind of full here and then kind of a happy, a happy lower lip. Really soften it, cleaning the finger, really softening it. And then for the upper lip, I don't do a whole lot of overlining, but I'll show you the one place that I do. But I don't really overline here, even though I do have a thin upper lip as well. And I don't really overline here. But where I do is at the right in here. and then I really tuck it in at the end. Something else that happens when we age, and it's really more noticeable when you have thinner lips, is that, again, everything is going south. This tissue starts falling and tucking into the corners, and eventually it's really hard to see your upper lip at all. So this really helps. So I'm going to overline right through here, and then I'm going to tuck it in. I'm just exaggerating that just so you can see what I mean. So I'm overlining just the littlest bit right here, and then tucking it in. Again, I don't want that to be like, you know, that sort of severe thing. I want it to be soft. The advantages of using a powder to do this is it's going to last pretty much all day long, and it's not going to settle into your fine lines that you may have on your upper lip as badly as it would be if you used a lip pencil. That can really start settling in and traveling right into those lines unless you use a really, really dry lip pencil. So this is got a lot of positives to it versus doing the old-fashioned, or not old-fashioned, but doing the other technique of just lining your lips with a lip pencil. Okay, let's finish the lips. So we contoured the lips. Now I'm going to figure out what it is I want to do. I definitely want to do something corally. I do have coral in here, so I think I'll do something kind of coral-ish. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs barking. I don't know what is going on out there. I am expecting a couple more packages today, so maybe it's the UPS guy. I'm going to use this Anastasia lipstick. If you haven't tried these lipsticks from Anastasia, they're lovely. They are really nice. They're very creamy, and I want to get more. They're really gorgeous. Oh, that is the exact color I was looking for. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to use my absolute favorite lip topper of all time. This was gifted to me from my lovely oldest daughter, Jessanne, 2 Christmases back. And do you know what? I thought, well, this is a limited edition. This is the lip, I think it's called Frost Lip. Oh, this is the wrong one. Here it is. It's called, I think, Lip Frost, Lip Balm Frost Balm. Anyway, you'll see it up here. And it's almost gone. And in my last Sunday vlog, I talked about the heartbreaking realization that I can't buy this anymore because I was gonna, and it just wasn't anywhere. My daughter just this morning texted me and said, "Mom, it's available right now on Nordstrom's website." And sure enough, it is. So I'm like, oh my God, they must have, did a second run, or I don't know. This is exciting. So I went to Sephora's website. Sure enough, Sephora had it too. And I needed to get these other things today. So I ordered it. It's not in store, and you can't just have it, shipped one day shipping to your house or that same day shipping. So I'm waiting for it, but I did order it. I'm so excited. So those of you that watched that vlog and also were heartbroken, just know that you can get this once again. And as far as I know, the 2 places I looked was Sephora's website and also at Nordstrom.com. I love this stuff. It has that diamond sparkle throughout the entire, lipstick, inside too. And it milks out any lipstick you put on and gives just the right amount of this sparkle. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is just beautiful. And it is a balm, so it moisturizes and nourishes your lips too. It's beautiful on bare lips. It's just truly one of my absolute very favorite things ever when it comes to makeup. So I feel great now that I can talk about it and still put a link down there for you that actually can be bought if you need to. It's lovely. Okay, so now we're gonna do the cheeks. So I really do want to try using this color here as my actual blush. And it's out of that palette that we just did this entire eye look out of, and let's see what this looks like. So I love this brush for this because often, actually, I will use an eyeshadow in a palette for my blush. And this is small enough to where I can utilize it in that way, and it's angled. It's lovely. I'm gonna tap it off there on my little towel, and I'm gonna put it on the apple of my cheek first, and then I'm gonna go straight back. And that is pretty. It's very pretty because, gosh, I don't know if that's truly matte. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. So, apple of my cheek. Then I'm going to bring it straight back, sit it right on top of the cheek bone itself. I like to do that blush color right under any bronzing or contouring that I do, just kind of right here. Just make sure it's blended nicely because it just makes everything cohesive. I also like to run it over the top of my chin and many times just over my nose right there. So I am tapping it first. I'm gonna put a little bit more. That's so pretty, you guys. So pretty. Wow, that is really pretty. And you know what? I think just for fun and to, again, kind of make things a little bit more cohesive, I'm gonna take something like this. I'm going to go into that same color that we just did as a blush. I'm going to tap it, knock it off here, and I'm going to put that right up here, I think, just to kind of bring it all together. Again, this is me just playing, guys. Just playing. This has been such a fun palette to play with. Oh yeah, I like that. That's really pretty. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So I am gonna say goodbye for this one. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me for a little bit as I played with some new makeup and some of my tried and trues. And I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Bye-bye.